Everybody, Ralph Havens here, and welcome to your Friday session. So something came up in our group call that I just had with our 30 sessions in 30 days people, and I wanted to fill you in on it a bit, and because it's been showing up in my meditation this morning, and it also showed up yesterday with some clients. So years ago, I had this thing where I would get really, really nervous, and certain people really stressed me out. And for some reason, people in power, especially men, it would seem to be men, and especially big men, physically big men, and men in power, and men with money, and doctors, they used to stress me out. And what seemed to be happening a lot was they just treated me like crap. Like have you ever been around people that even if they're not saying something too much, in particular, you can just tell they just don't think you know much, or they don't think you're all that good, or something's really wrong about you, or they're disgusted, or they're just they don't like you, and they don't trust you, and they think you're just that sort of thing. And that used to happen a lot. And, it was like where I would just dread it. If there was, I remember one time there was a doctor in my waiting room, and he came from another doctor. And this doctor he came from really liked me a lot, an orthopedic surgeon and trauma surgeon in San Diego. I just loved that guy. And I saw much of his family as clients, and I considered him a friend, and he'd been over to my house and been out to eat with him. And he was just a very good guy and did great work in the trauma center in San Diego. When I got hit by a car walking, I called him up the next day, and he was like, well, at least you made it through the night. You should have gone to the doctor, but come on in. And he just came in. I came into his office. He saw me. He did his little scans of stuff. He made sure I wasn't broken, and sent me on my way. And he was just a cool guy. But for some reason, this other doctor that he sent to me, had this problem, and an ankle problem, and he had fractured it, and he couldn't play baseball. He actually still played baseball in some sort of adult league. And so I was doing my therapy on him, but I could feel the anger, and I could feel the distrust, and just like the not likingness of it all. And then he would say certain things that just you're just condescending and accusatory, and like your stuff is crap, just like what are you doing now? And what are you doing now? And how is this working? And da 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 da. And I was like, oh God. And I was then talking to my other friend, Dr. Mark Kalina. He's such a cool guy. So there were some doctors that I liked a lot. And I was running by him some stuff we were eating out once, and I telling him what was going on and how it was really affecting me. And he said, Ralph, you've got to handle this. If you don't handle this, this is going to just keep happening to you, And I was like, I know. So I did. The next time he came in, I told him, we can talk about the weather, we can talk about sports, but we're not going to talk about this where you grill me and accuse me of stuff. You can come if you want, but you don't have to come. And you came from a good friend of mine, a doctor, and he sent his whole family to me, but you don't have to be here. You're the one that's scheduled. And I was really upfront with him. And then he laid down, and he was like, nah. And I worked on him, and it was like, oh God, but at least I handled it. And then he was on the schedule again a few days later, and I'm like, oh God, he's on the schedule, here we go. And then he canceled, and I was like, oh, thank God. But these days, I've got something that works better. It's cool to handle it, right? It's cool to stand up for yourself. It's cool to have boundaries. It's cool to have self-worth, but these are all self-worth issues, right? And self-worth kind of came up with a few clients and people yesterday, and it can show up in funny ways. Like it can show up where a treatment program will help you, but you don't want to do it, and you do want to do it, but it could be a little bit about money, or other things, talking to your husband kind of thing. But then it's like, but the guilt of doing something like this for myself, like spending this much money on myself, can come up, and it can be a self-worth thing. I understand it, but it's also like how much Some it might show up as like, not taking the time to hang out with your friends when you know that would really recharge you, or not taking the time to do something nice for yourself, like exercise every morning, or just always doing for others and not doing for yourself. Self-worth can show up like that, or it can show up where certain people always seem to kind of get you, like they're the ones on the phone and they talk to you a few times a week, but they're always dumping their crap into your ear, or they come over to your house and dump it all over the living room. They talk about how their life is, and they're always talking about themselves and da 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 da, and they feel better when they leave, but you feel like crap because you just got a bunch of crap dumped in your living room. So a self-worth thing, and how are those people always attracted to certain people? They don't do that thing to everybody. Like that doctor, I'm sure didn't treat everybody like crap, and but he seemed to find me, and other ones like that seemed to find me, and so if you're like, oh man, I don't want to talk to this person, it's nice to like talk to somebody that we have boundaries and we respect each other and that sort of thing. But most of these other people don't, or there's this one person in particular that I'm dreading being on the phone with. I sure hope I don't get caught on the phone with this person, because my boundaries are always overstepped, and I just I don't want to like give up myself. So there's something cool that I found over the last couple year or so, and it's what I use for myself every morning. So one of the things that I found now is those people that can treat certain people like crap, whatever version that is, or certain people that that you're around and you never stand up for yourself and do something good for yourself. It could be a significant other relationship and you're always giving but never receiving, or it could be like a sort of self-worth, like don't deserve, guilty to receive kind of thing. So what happens is now when one of those things show up, it's really cool because you can spot it, right? When it happens to you, the pattern for your own self about like something that shows up about self-worth. And when it happens now, what we've got is a way to go inside and then to notice something, the real core of what that is about. And it doesn't have to do with words. It doesn't have to do with thinking about it. It doesn't have to do with understanding it. It doesn't have to do with trying to fix it. It's different than that. It's very primal. It's very direct. And there's a skill set to learn how to find it. When it's there because it's the person that bugs you or that treats you not good, that the person that oversteps boundaries, those type of people, whatever version it is, you're not standing up for yourself or not giving yourself what you want, or feeling guilty about not getting what you need for yourself to get healthy. It shows up and it does, with a pattern, your own patterns. When that pattern shows up, there's a thing that you can do. And if you make it a habit, you can unravel it rather quickly. Like this doesn't have to take a long time. It's not talk therapy. It's not positive thinking. It's not meditation where you try to like get calm. And, meditation can be kind of just the same as taking a painkiller drug to knock yourself out. Both of them take you away from the pain. Meditation, try to get really calm. Try to go inside and just be happy, which is cool, sort of, but it's kind of sort of like just taking a painkiller drug to like be okay, and so this is different. This is going right into the problem, not trying to get away from it with meditation or drugs or supplements or calming activities, but going right into it and letting it unravel, letting it burn itself out. And there's this real specific way to do it. And so it's part of my Enlighten Up and Get What You Want course. And there's, I can tell you all about that. But right now, what I'm talking about is this very precise way to go right to the thing that's in the way of your self-worth in whatever way that it shows up for you, and to dismantle that, to burn it out, to unravel it, to let it go finally. And then those people don't show up like that anymore. For me, I love hanging out with rich guys, tall guys and powerful guys, doctor guys. They treat me great. And so something shifted in me that's not attracted to me. And the ones that are like that don't do it to me. So, but if anything ever does show up that even has an inkling of that, I know how to go clear it very quickly. So I want to get that to you. And it's you can get it for free. I've got 2 PDFs and a video training. And it's actually a video training that we use to clear issues around money for people, so that any issues around self-worth involving being able to get paid, or the kind of money you think you should get paid, or having the life you want. We did a whole session with that with a group, and I've got it as a video training series session for you. So you can grab it at ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. Yeah, www.ralphhavens.com/enlighten up. So go ahead and grab it. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the technique, or the thing to do, and how it works for you. And share this. Let me know how it goes. All right, everybody, let's get out there and live. Let's really live. Bye now.